Hi, welcome to the galley. Today on the galley, I'm making basil butter because my basil plant is enormous and it's just starting to flower and really it needs to be used. And I just want to preserve as much of this basil for the winter or for the rest of the year as I can. So I've already frozen some. I made some pesto and frozen it. So now I'm making basil butter and I love basil. I love all compound butters because they're so versatile and they're so great to have in the freezer. And you're going to be able to have this basil butter for like 6 to 8 months in the freezer if it lasts that long. I think you'll use it. But it is perfect for anything grilled, any kind of meat grilled, seafood grilled, vegetables grilled. I mean, you can melt it on popcorn. You could put it on your baked potato. It is just so versatile. And obviously for pasta, or maybe even rice, just the possibilities are endless. And when it's in the freezer and you just, whoo, that was a lot of salt. I think I'm going to put this back because that went way too much salt. So maybe just a little too much salt. So what you're going to do for your basil butter is for 1 cup of firmly packed basil, you want 1 cup of room temperature butter. So this is, you know what, I think I can lift that little basil leaf off there to remove a little bit of that salt. It was a little salt heavy, but I love salt. But I don't want this to be overly salty. So 1 cup basil, 1 cup butter, 1/8 of a teaspoon of fine sea salt. And I don't know if I've talked to you. I know this is hands down my favorite and only fine sea salt, mineral sea salt that I use. Actually, I have another sea salt that I use to finish really nice things like desserts and things. But for fermentation, things like this mined in America, it's just pure. You know it's real. A lot of those sea salts from China, they mine through the salt into the ore, and so it can be really dangerous for you. You don't really know what you're getting. This, you know it's real. You know it's perfect. It's just perfect. And to that, you want 1 lemon, just the zest. We're just using the zest here, and the rest of that lemon juice I'll put in my tea or something. I'm not worried about that. But the zest from a lemon. And then optional is you can do a little crushed red pepper, which I like, but this is optional. Put that in there, and then I just want to give this an initial whirl just to start breaking that basil up a little bit. Yes, you can do all of this by hand and chop it up, but today it just felt like being lazy and we'll do it in here. So pulse off and on just to get this initial chop going, and then brush down those sides if you need to. Obviously, I already had some butter in here because this is my second batch. And then you're going to add your 1 cup of room temperature butter, and we're going to give that a whirl. So obviously, because I have my teeny tiny little food processor, I have to do this in batches, but that's okay. So next up, I'm going to show you how I store mine in the freezer, which I think is the easiest way, because it's the easiest way, I think, to cut off just what you need when you need it. So I like to roll mine up in parchment paper, and you can also do this with wax paper. And I'm honestly going to do this, instead of 1 big, I'm going to do 2 smaller ones. They're easier in my refrigerator, but you can do this in 1 big one if you want. So just put it in the center, kind of put it in the log shape that you want, and you're going to turn your first turn over and just try to manipulate that so that you have it all in there. And then you're just going to roll pinch your ends and twist them. So now you've made this beautiful log of butter that you're going to store in your refrigerator, in your freezer. Put this in your freezer. Put a note on it so you remember what it is. Sometimes I'll have 3 or 4 different compound butters in my freezer, so always put a note on it. And then you just cut off what you need when you need it. So, beautiful way to preserve that fresh basil. Have it for months to come, and for easy, quick dinners. Grill some chicken breast. Throw some basil butter on it. Cook some pasta with some shrimp. Throw some basil butter on it. Grilled vegetables, throw some basil butter in it. So many great uses and a great way to preserve the beautiful summertime basil. Thanks, guys. I will see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Love ya.